In this video, we are going to take a look at garter stitch and stockinette stitch. And we are going to talk about how these stitch patterns are made, how they're different, and when we would choose to use one or the other. The first big difference that we're going to note is the way that the stockinette sample has a tendency to roll up on itself. This is a property of that stitch pattern, and so the places that we would incorporate this stitch are going to be really specific. And now we take a look at our garter stitch sample, and you can see how much flatter it lays and also how different the stitches are. When I turn over the stockinette sample, it looks totally different. So it has a definite right side and wrong side. The garter stitch appears the same on both sides. With garter stitch, you can see that there are definite rows of purl bumps. But let's look at it a little bit more closely. And as I stretch out the sample, if you look in between those rows of purl bumps, you can clearly see knit stitches or rows of knit. So garter is in reality an alternate pattern of knit and purl. The stockinette, looking at the back side or the reverse stockinette side, it's all purl. Every row in this sample is purl because to make stockinette, we will knit all of the knit stitches and purl all of the purl stitches. But look at the difference here in the way the purl side of the pattern appears on stockinette versus garter. And notice how much stretchier the garter sample is than the stockinette. Our stockinette sample, as you can see, has this tendency to curl. That's just the nature of that stitch pattern. And garter stitch, though it's a little chunkier, it lays perfectly flat. So that makes garter stitch ideal for scarf patterns because you can knit them and they're always going to lay flat. You're going to use stockinette in places where you do not want to add bulk, like bodies of sweaters or hats or sleeves.